Hi there, my name's Hannah. Thank you so much for visiting my GoFundMe page. I thought I would create a video just to go with some of the text for my page, but also to prove I'm a real person, which is always nice, and to tell you a little bit more about my research in person, I guess. So, I'm starting a PhD at the University of Nottingham, and it's going to be focusing on Frederick Douglass, who was really the most famous African American in the 19th century and effectively still is. My PhD is going to focus on his travels in Britain. He had a really strong impact on the UK, and how he influenced Britain has never really been discussed before. So I'm trying to make an original contribution to this field and slavery and abolition in general. So it's really hugely exciting. It's this project I started nearly 3 years ago now during my masters, and it was a very small project, and now it's sort of snowballed into something a lot more than that. I've done lectures and spoken at conferences and written blog posts and created my own website and some teaching resources, and you'll find the link on my page down there somewhere. So yes, Douglass, he was born in slaves, and he escaped in 1838, and he caught the attention of an abolitionist, a fiery radical abolitionist called William Lloyd Garrison, who recognised Douglass's powerful talent for oratory. He was a very powerful speaker, and he had that ability to really hold an audience on edge, and also have them laughing one minute and crying the next, as it were. So Douglass spoke for Garrison at several abolitionist societies and at church meetings and things like that. And Douglass published his slave narrative in 1845. And Garrison and some other of Douglass's friends recommended that he should journey around Britain, not only to raise the anti-slavery message and to encourage British friends, abolitionists, British audiences to campaign against American slavery, but also to avoid any unwanted attention that his narrative might bring, because obviously Douglass had escaped and he technically wasn't legally free, so that might mean that someone could re-enslave him, basically. So when Douglass was here in Britain, he came over here in 1845, and he created an absolute sensation. He really became a celebrity. He sold over 13,000 copies of his narrative, and it went through 3 British editions. There were thousands of people that came to hear him speak, and there's some records of meetings being so popular at assembly halls and church meetings that people were forced outside, and they had to crane their necks and listen through an open window because there was hardly any space to hear him speak. He caused several controversies, particularly with the Free Church of Scotland. He inspired songs and poems, and he really had a national presence here, and he travelled all the way from Edinburgh, different parts of Scotland, all the way down to Exeter, Bristol, London. He spoke at a lot of famous cities, and his presence in the newspapers, considering that he was a fugitive slave, is quite amazing. So what I've been doing over the last few years is recording as many newspaper articles I can find that mention Douglass and some of the controversies he's created, and particularly in Scotland and Ireland and also in London. He really did cause a stir. So I am going to argue that he was a celebrity in 1840s Britain. And obviously that term celebrity is still a definition we struggle with today. What makes a celebrity? What enables someone to become a celebrity as well? And whether that person deserves that celebrity. It's all sorts of questions that we ask ourselves now, and we also associate scandal and smear campaigns with celebrities today, and that all happened to Douglass way back in the 1840s. So it's hugely exciting to consider that he was an early celebrity, and he was someone who used his voice rather than his literary work to encourage and promote that celebrity. So yes, Douglass was an absolute sensation here. And I really want to assess his legacy here in the 1840s and when he came back to visit in the late 1850s. And it's a really exciting project, and I really can't wait to get started. And I just hope that I can get through this year. So again, thank you so much for visiting the page, and if you can give £5, 15, anything, that would really help me out. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and if you've got time, visit my website in Douglas, and hopefully you can learn something. So thank you so much.